All right. Greetings all again from Northern Ontario, Canada here. I figured since my earlier video was pretty good, like I had a lot of response anyway, just make a quick little video here. There's a big problem, especially today, with the church. Basically, it's people are in love with the world. So, I just want to talk about that for a few minutes here. That's my son over there. Say hi.
Hello.
Okay, everybody's watching you, so.
Who is that?
Everybody on Facebook. They're watching you, so you better run. Go. Anyway, yeah. I used to be like many people. I got saved when I was young. But, I kind of grew up in a lukewarm atmosphere. Believing in doctrines that, it didn't really influence me to live a godly life. So, anyway, I'm 37 years old now. Darwin, no.
Show them on camera.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry, my son's making noise. No, Darwin, I'm speaking here. You gotta go.
Is it
Go.
someone?
Yeah, go.
Who is it?
Sorry about that. Anyway, I'm 37 years old, and it wasn't until I was 34 that I actually got on fire for Christ. So the reason for that was because I had addictions. I had, I was living in the world, alcoholic, party lifestyle. When I lived in Taiwan, I was an English teacher there, and it's pretty much, for a foreigner in Taiwan, it's pretty much like a rock star life. You're a foreigner there. If you're not, you don't have to look that great over there. I mean, they love foreigners. So the money was easy. Job was good. Easy come, easy go money. And pretty much you just get into that lifestyle where you just spend your money on the world. You party, you have a good time because you figure, well, it doesn't really matter what I do for God because I'm saved. So, I'm just going to love both. I'm going to have one foot in the world with God. One foot in the world and one foot with God. So I lived that for many years. But it doesn't work. And we're approaching a time now where the Christ Church can no longer wear a gray wedding dress. Okay? You're going to have to wear the black one for Satan, or you're going to have to wear the white one as Christ's bride. Okay? You can't wear the gray one anymore. And that's why tribulation is coming very soon. Because you have to choose this day whom you will serve. Right? I was down in America for 3 months. And, just like here in Canada, a lot of Christians, you go to picnics, you go to different church events, and, after church, you talk to people, and pretty much all they want to talk about is what they did on the weekend, where they're going to go, what they're going to do, and, they don't really talk about anything to do with God at all, I can talk to someone for 5 minutes and know where their spiritual walk is at, do they love Christ? Are they talking about Him and what He's doing? Are they talking about missions trips or what they, how they support people? And it's all worldly garbage. Like that's my problem. What is there in this world that's so wonderful that you have to be in love with it? Like, are you trying to build some business empire, to get rich? You're going to put in all your time, all your effort to do that. And when you die, it's not going to get you. So what's the point? So I can't understand that anymore. But anyway, back to my life. What got me on fire for Christ was getting deliverance of the demonic spirits of addiction and fears and all that stuff in my life. I knew I wanted to serve, but I didn't know how. I knew there were roadblocks in my life, but I had no idea how to do that. And I was raised believing that, Christians can't have demons, so it can't be that. It must just be me. And that puts you in total bondage for two reasons. You're in bondage because Satan has you bound. But then when you don't believe that Christians can have demonic strongholds, then you're doubly bound, So anyway, when I got those roadblocks out of my life, I was on fire. You know, I got baptized in the Holy Spirit. That's from Matthew 3:11. John the Baptist talks about that. When you get born again, you know, you get the Holy Spirit, but unless you get the baptism, you know, like baptism in water, you get immersed, right? Fully immersed in water. You also have to be fully immersed in the Spirit. You know, you get the Holy Spirit when you're saved, but you don't get that immersion, that baptism, until you pray, you ask for it. Some people get it the same day they get saved. Some people, it's years later. For example, Smith Wigglesworth, he was from the UK, you know, over 100 years ago. He did lots of exploits for God, and he finally learned that, you know, he's saved, but he needs the baptism of the Holy Spirit. And all these people who are doing all these miracles, they all came to the realization that they needed to have that baptism in the Holy Spirit. So I got that 3 years ago. I began praying in tongues maybe a week or two after that. You know, been doing it ever since. And then God started to manifest more gifts through me. You know, I got a healing ministry now, stuff like that. So now I'm just totally on fire. I can't think about anything. Every day I think about God, you know, praying. I'm reading books, reading the Word. You know, I can't talk about anything else. I'm here around people. You know, like I'll sit with church people and I feel so uncomfortable, especially with family and friends, because none of them believe in God, in the miracles of God. They don't believe in demons possessing or demonizing people, like especially believers. You know, so I kind of sit there and I'm quiet. I'm afraid to open my mouth because, oh, you know, there's Dwayne over there. He kind of believes in stuff that we don't really believe in. So he's, you know, there's division there. You know, but anyway, getting back to loving the world. Okay, you got to ask yourself, what is there in this world that is so worth loving that you're going to stop doing what you need to for Christ and love the world? Don't you know, like on Judgment Day, we're going to stand in front of that judgment seat of Christ, and we're going to bring what little or all the stuff we have that we think we've done for Him, right? And we're going to set it at His feet, and He's going to light it on fire, and whatever burns up was all useless, and whatever's left, that's your reward, right? My question for you right now is, what are you going to have to put at His feet? You know, are you going to be left there in shame? Right? What are you going to have for Him? You're going to have piles and piles and piles of stuff? Right? I just want you to ask this question. All right? All right, well, I want to say hello to everybody. I see Louisa from Brazil. I see Teresa Lynn Fritz in Missouri. Thanks, guys, for tuning in so far. Lots of hearts and all that stuff there. Anyway, I'm kind of going on a rant here, you know, but it's time to wake up. How much more time do you think we have? I mean, you can't waste more years and years of your life. Right? I mean, I don't know. I just get so frustrated with people. Sometimes it's a lot easier just to get out and preach the Word, see people get saved, and then teach them from scratch, because with so many people raised in church, you have to undo so much tradition, you know, so much garbage, all that lukewarmness, you know, and that's, as some people believe, we're in the Laodicean church age, you know, which is pretty much lukewarm, and Jesus said He would spew them from His mouth, right? So, ask yourself right now, you know, where are you sitting? Are you sitting on the fence? Are you really on Christ's side, or are you on Satan's side? You know, Jesus said Himself, you can't serve two masters. So I want everyone who's watching this, anyone who's going to watch this, I want you to seriously consider where your Christian walk stands. What do you think about? What do you talk about? What do you spend your money on? What do you spend your time doing? Right? People, especially in North America, have no idea what's coming. Okay? Especially in America, judgment is coming. It's on the doorstep. And still people, you know, people are still out there sitting down, drinking their coffee, smoking their cigarettes, drinking their beer, watching sports. It's all about the sports. I was down in the States and I was wearing a Louisville hoodie, and people looked at me like they wanted to cut my head off because of that. Like, is this how addicted to sports people are? I mean, seriously, you know. Does anybody know who won the Super Bowl 10 years ago? Does anybody care who won it last year? Darwin.
What?
You know, are you seeing my point here? Right. Anyway, My son over there, he doesn't have a care in the world. He's just swinging away like his old dad.
Whoa!
Kind of beautiful here, right?
Ow! Who are you talking to?
My son's asking me, who am I talking to? Many people on Facebook who are watching. Right?
All of them?
Yeah, and they're watching you right now. How do you feel about that?
They seen computers and phones?
Yeah, all over the world.
Oh!
Yeah, he's pretty, he can't believe it, I guess. Anyway, who else is out there watching? I see 2 people. Anyway, this is me, my surroundings, simple. I live a simple life. I probably own the least amount of possessions I ever have in my life. I don't have any more roots anymore. You know, I was born and raised here in this house. There's Trista, how you doing? I was born and raised here in this house, but, you know, I've lived in 4 countries, 2 continents.